Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be baking with some citrus flavors. So I'm starting with a lemon zucchini bread. So I have some dry ingredients going into this bowl. We have flour, baking powder, baking soda, salts. Exact measurements will be in the description box. So I'm going to just whisk all these ingredients together. Make sure they're mix well together, okay? And then in a large bowl, I'm going to start with the wet ingredients. So for the batter, I'm going to mix together the eggs and sugar. First, I'm just going to crack these eggs into a smaller bowl and beat them with a fork just to make sure that they'll incorporate really well into the batter. And we won't have any egg white or whatever that didn't get mixed in well. So here goes in the eggs into the sugar. Okay, there we go. Nice and beat up. And then I'm going to get my hand mixer and just beat those really well together. Okay. If you like lemon, you're going to want to try this, okay? I love lemon. Lemon. I wish I wish I lived in a place where I could have a lemon tree. That would be so nice. Okay, and then for the extra punch of lemon flavor, I'm going to zest a whole lemon. That's where a lot of the flavors from a lemon is in the peel, because there's oils in the peel. So the zest will make really punchy flavors in whatever you're doing. So don't throw away the zest. Oh, and I also put a half a cup of oil in the batter too. I think I just missed it, but it's in there. So I'm just going to juice the lemon till I get about 2 tablespoons. I did about half a lemon, I think. Okay. And then a half a cup of plain yogurt or sour cream. And I always have Greek yogurt in my fridge, and so I just usually sub that out for sour cream. In recipes, it's a little bit, you're adding a little more protein that way, and it just really gives you a really tender result in my experience. So then I'll just mix all the wet ingredients together again, mix the yogurt in there with the hand mixer. And now I'll just gradually add in the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. Just like so. Just get it nice and incorporated. Excuse me. Get it really nice and mixed in there. I just love these kinds of baked goods in the summertime using citrus, because you use a lot of citrus in the summertime, am I right? Yeah, it's just a really good way to use up some lemons if you have them in there and you need to use them up, or if you just enjoy lemons, the lemon flavors is good. So I'm just getting a spatula in the bowl and just making sure there's no dry pockets of flour in there. And then here comes the zucchini. So I've wrung out the zucchini as well as I can. It's grated zucchini. And this will add kind of an earthy flavor to the bright punchiness of the lemon. And it's just a really good little mixture. Okay, here comes the rest of it. I think you need about a half a cup. Let's see. Oh, 1 cup. Sorry. Yeah. And the zucchini will also add a little bit of moisture to the cake too, or the loaf. Oh, I should have mentioned, you need to preheat your oven to 350 and get out 1 loaf pan. This makes 1 loaf. And grease it really well, as you can see here. And you don't need to flour it, just grease it. And then once you have your batter all mixed up, then just add it into the loaf pan. Okay. It'll bake for quite a while, like 45 minutes, I think. I'll double check, but it did bake for a while. So here it is, all done. Perfect. Look how nicely it rose. It just looks so good. So wonderful. Nummy, nummy. Just get a toothpick and see if it's done. If there's no crumbs sticking to the toothpick, then it's all done. Okay, now I'm going on to the icing here. It's just, let's see. Some powdered sugar, sorry. And then some more lemon juice, of course. Okay, and then once you have those all mixed up, then just drizzle it on over the warm cake. If you put it on while it's still kind of warm, it'll soak in. But not too warm. Like, we don't want to totally melt it, so, you know, just maybe a little above room temperature would be fine. That would be great. Very nice. This was really good. This cake was just so bright with the lemon. And the zucchini was really good in it too. And it's a really good way to add in a little bit of veggie into your, into your treats. So that maybe somebody, will eat it and get some veggies in there. It's amazing. It's really amazing. So anyway, there you go. As you can see, I've let the icing set, and then I'll just take a little bite here. And it was so good. It was just perfectly sweet and the right balance of lemon juice in there. Just worked really well with the zucchini. And it was really moist, as you can see. It was just really good. So the recipe will be in the description box for you, okay? All right, so moving on to a lime cake, okay? This one is just for an 8x8 size pan. And I'm starting with the dry ingredients yet again. So flour, baking powder. Okay. Whoops. I made a little mess there. A little milk. And then you need the salt in there. It will really help to bring out the lime flavor. And then just take a whisk and whisk those together real quick. Okay, and then it's time to cream the butter and the sugar together. Just like that. Alrighty. And then there's the sugar. And just mix it till it's nice and light and fluffy. Make sure your butter is room temperature. Very important. Very, very important there. And then 1 egg goes in there. Make sure you're mixing it until you can't see the egg anymore. Alrighty. And then we have 1 egg at room temperature, and then you need 1 egg yolk, room temperature also. Here we go. Preheat your oven to 350 again, and grease an 8-inch square pan and dust it with flour. That's very important there. Okay, just getting those all mixed together. This lime cake was so good. We really enjoyed it. My husband really liked it. We really like it. Kind of, I mean, maybe if you added, no, never mind. I don't know. Never mind. Going on a little, getting distracted in my mind. Anyway. So now we're ready to mix the flour into the, creamed butter and sugar. And I'm going to alternate with a little bit of whole milk. Okay. So we're going to start with the flour and the milk and then end with the flour. Okay. Milk. I like to use whole milk. I mean, you could use, I'm sure 2% would work just fine if you wanted. I wouldn't go any any thinner than that. By that I mean like non-fat, or because then it just might not be rich enough in the cake. So I would just stick to whole or 2% personally. But anyway, just ending with the flour. Still working on the flour and the milk, getting those incorporated. Just like so. Love the egg yolk on my mixer. Love that. Okay, so here is the lime juice. Okay. So a couple tablespoons of that, and then some of the lime zest. Like that. That'll add some, I love that. Yum, yum, yum. That's going to be so good. Ooh, this cake was really good. I made this a few days ago, so I'm going back in my mind. It was so good. Okay, so here is my greased and floured pan. The reason why you flour the pan is to help the cake to climb up the sides of your pan and get really nice and fluffy. And you'll have a nice tall cake, if you will. So I'm just going to pour the wonderful limey batter into my prepared pan. So good. Making sure to scrape every little bit of it out. We don't want to leave any behind because it's so good. Okay, and then just smooth it out with my spatula. Just like this, like so. Yum, yum, yum. And then guess who gets to lick the bowl? But you can't guess who is. Just kidding. Okay, and then it goes into the oven for like 25 to 30 minutes. It's a good idea to turn the pan about halfway through. Turn it once halfway through for even baking. And then I'm just going to test it with a toothpick in the center to see if it comes out clean, and it does. Very good. I always start with the lowest time and then just add more if I need to, but 25 minutes was plenty. Okay, and now to top it all off, we're going to do a cream cheese frosting. So in a medium bowl, we're going to combine the cream cheese and room temperature butter. And I'm going to beat all these two ingredients together until well blended. Okay. Looks like we're about there. And then I'm going to slowly incorporate 2 cups of powdered sugar. I'm doing it on a low speed. This way I don't get a big powdered sugar dust cloud settling all over my kitchen and making it all sticky. Am I right? If you drop just a little bit of powdered sugar on the floor, like it just makes your floor so sticky, and then you have to mop your floor again. Right? Does this happen to other people? I'm sure. Okay, so I'm just, keep incorporating that powdered sugar in there. And then once it starts to get mixed in, then you can increase the speed on your mixer to make it go a little bit faster. But anyway, woo, it takes a few minutes here. And then we're going to add in some vanilla extract along with a little bit of salt. Just a pinch of salt. That'll really help bring out the kind of funk, if you will, from the cream cheese, and it'll enhance the sugariness, the contrast between the sugar and that funkiness from the cream cheese. It's not really funkiness, but you know what I'm saying, Anyway, and then after all that, we're going to do 2 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. That way we just have that nice lime flavor running through the whole thing, the cake and the frosting, and it just ties it all together really nicely. And this is what it'll look like when it's done. Looks just perfect. Okay, and now we have our cooled cake. I did let this cool for a while. And then I'm just going to put my nice icing over it. Make sure it's nice and and smoothed over with the top, over the top of the cake with the spatula. All right. It looks so good. Nice and almost fluffy, doesn't it? Looks good. But anyway, this would be a really good dessert if you're having people over to your house and you want to serve something after dinner. This would be a really great cake to make. And it's not too big, It's perfect. It's good for like a good serving if you're having, like I said, people over and you get a couple servings out of it and then the cake is gone. You don't have a cake hanging around in your house forever, right? You'll want to store this in the fridge. Put it in plastic wrap over it, or just something to keep it airtight, and it'll keep in your fridge for a few days. So I hope you enjoyed these 2 recipes, and I'll see you in the next one.